Hey, how's it going?
All right, I've got 4 original Warhols.
You have 4 original paintings by Warhol.
That's correct, yes.
This definitely looks like something he would do. He was into shoes.
So am I.
You weren't into, like, ladies' shoes, are you?
No, but
I came to the pawn shop today to try to sell 4 Andy Warhol original paintings. They've been sitting in a closet, and I heard that a Warhol just sold for $36 million, so I dusted them off.
So where did you get these?
My father was an art historian, and he bought these about 25 years ago. They were given to a guy, actually, that worked at the factory.
what's the factory?
The factory is, Andy Warhol actually started an art factory where you have a bunch of people working for him making art. And since it was Andy Warhol's factory, he signed everything, and it was therefore a Warhol. He more or less invented pop art.
Warhol started off in advertising, but he wanted to do his own art. According to legend, he was told, paint what you like most. Now his paintings of everyday objects like money and soup cans are just classics.
This was done in the 60s?
I think it was done in the 60s. I think it was his earlier work, yeah.
Okay. 2 shoes look Andy Warhol-ish.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones, I've never really seen him paint anything like that.
Well, that's why I'm thinking maybe they're one of a kind. I've looked on the internet, and I have not found these anywhere, really.
It's definitely different. When did these get damaged?
I'm not really sure, to be honest with you.
Because you see all the water damage on this. That does hurt the value. What were you looking to do with them?
I was looking to sell them,
Okay.
and I was asking about $8,000 each.
8,000 each?
Yeah,
It's not that I don't trust you.
Right.
It's just generally I don't trust anybody.
okay. Don't
Sort of
blame
the
it.
nature of my business. Let me have someone look at it because I don't know enough to know that this is actually an Andy Warhol.
All right, thank you.
So the highest prices ever paid for fine art have been Andy Warhol's. So there's no doubt I'm interested in these. I just have to find out if they're legit or not.
Brad, how's it going?
Hey, Rick, how are you? Oh, my gosh, what have we got here? The gentlemen usually call me down here to take a look at paintings that they have some questions on, issues about authenticity or value. Andy Warhol really set the fine art world on its ear, and he took everyday objects and he glorified them. What makes fine art is a very interesting question, and that's something that Andy Warhol tried to challenge with his pop art. How certain everyday items that nobody in a million years would have thought of as fine art, like Campbell's soup cans and Coca-Cola bottles, he made them fine art. What I'm looking for is to try to determine exactly what's original and what might be part of a print. There's certain things, for example, that these lines here, these are actually part of a print, which is not surprising. He was one of the first artists to really do mass-produced originals. And that appears to be what these are, where the actual image was printed, and then he would go in and embellish it with watercolor, because you can see that it bleeds in some cases outside the edge.
So do you think he actually did it or someone from his factory?
You know, based on knowing the subject matter, when they were done, the media they were done in, I think these are authentic. I think these are hand-done by Mr. Warhol himself.
Nice.
And I'll tell you why. These are fairly early pieces. These were done probably in the mid-1950s. And he did a ton of fairies and cherubs. So these are really indicative of his early works before the factory. So I think he would be the one that would have done the embellishment on them. The signature, too, as far as I'm concerned, looks spot on.
Does that make him valuable?
It does. Yes, it does.
And how much has the damage affected the value on him?
Well, most of the water damage on this one is confined to the outer edge. It hasn't, permeated into the piece itself. Same thing on these. The compositions are still in pretty good shape. The art market's soft
Okay.
for just about everybody but Andy Warhol.
Okay.
Value-wise, I think on all of these, you probably start at the auction level at around $10,000.
Really?
Go up. Yeah, I think so. I think these two in the center, the cherub and the fairy, these are a bit more unique. I could see these selling at auction even in the $15,000 range.
Really?
So,
Wow. Wow.
Thanks, man.
hey, Rick,
You're
my
the best.
pleasure,
Appreciate
as
it.
always. It was very cool to see these pieces today. I don't think Rick will have any problem selling these if he does make an offer on them.
You have to realize now,
Yeah.
he told you these are prices that they could bring at auction.
Right.
Okay? The commissions at auctions are as high as 50%. Okay?
What are you thinking?
20,000. That's cash money
Well,
today.
these were worth 30,000 just for these two. So I'm thinking, I'm really thinking more like 32.
How about 25,000?
How about 27? You got a deal.
All right, 27,000.
All right, thank you.
Write them up, chum.
I am thrilled with $27,000. I mean, that is more than I expected, so thrilled.
I have an ancient Roman coin I'd like to sell. It's from 42 BC.
Is that what I think it is?
It's 2 daggers and it says Ides of March.
Is Brutus on the other side?
Yes.
Damn.
I'm at the pawn shop because I would like to see if I could sell my Ides of March coin. I think the coin is the holy grail of Roman coins. If I can sell it, I've got my eye on some rare coins that are coming up for auction in about a month.
That's pretty cool. That says Ides of March. And that whole line became famous because of the Shakespearean play where Julius Caesar goes and sees a soothsayer and he goes, beware the Ides of March.
Right.
So where did you get this?
I bought this from a dealer in California, probably in the mid-'80s.
It's just such amazing history. Brutus and some other guys in the Roman Senate got together and say, hey, when Julius Caesar shows up today, we're all gonna walk up and say, hey, dude, what's up? And then we're all gonna stab him. And it was like 12 guys or 13 guys that stabbed Julius Caesar?
At least.
And he died right there on the Senate floor. I mean, it would be the equivalent today of killing a president in the Capitol building. Brutus made this coin to just basically celebrate the fact that, you know, I'm the great guy that killed Julius Caesar.
But what I think's interesting, too, if you look at the other side, he put his portrait on it. And this was one of the things that Julius Caesar got criticized for, was putting his portrait on a coin while he was living.
It's to this day in politics, you know, you'll have a guy running for office criticizing everything the other guy's doing, and the second he gets in office, he starts doing that. Brutus didn't stay around much longer after this to tell us exactly what happened. He thought the Roman people were all going to rally around him and everything was going to be great, and it didn't work out too well. It really, really is an amazing coin. I know there's not a lot of these in the world, and this one is in incredible shape. How much do you want for it?
I'd like to get 150,000.
Okay, I know they're worth a ridiculous amount of money, but let me call a friend of mine and take a look at it. And it's a lot of money, and I want his opinion on whether it's real or not. It's not that I don't trust you, it's just I don't trust anybody. And we'll see if we can make a deal.
Sounds great.
When you told me you had a coin with 2 daggers and a cap on it, I ran down here.
It's like literally Game of Thrones when this was going on. I mean, everybody was vying for power.
Yes. With the collapse of the Republic and the paving of the way for the Empire, which literally changed history, it all boils down to this coin. This is Brutus celebrating the fact that he murdered Julius Caesar on the Ides of March.
Okay, so the big question, what do you think it's worth?
This one has the advantage of having a very large planchet where you can see the whole design. And the abbreviation of Brutus above his head is totally clear. Can I take a closer look at it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, thank you. Such a famous coin. And it looks like there are no issues. This is the real deal.
Okay.
Personally, I think a collector would be very happy to pay about $125,000 for the coin. But if a bunch of people showed up at the auction, it could bring 140, 150 grand.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Best of luck. Congratulations. Thank you. Personally, I would advise Rick to buy this coin if he can get it for the right price. It's a really good example with all the details visible, so I think it's the kind of coin that most collectors would be very happy to have.
I agree with Dave. It's an incredible coin. It's like uber cool. And I would give you 100,000 for it.
I could come down maybe to 140.
This is the way I look at it. I have to send it off, I have to encapsulate it,
And this whole process takes like a year. If I give you 110,000, I know I will at least break even.
I've got to have more than that.
110 said.
Yeah, I don't think I can go below 140.
If you change your mind or have really bad luck while you're in town, come back and see me.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Cool.
The offer of 110,000 is quite a bit lower than what I wanted to accept because I absolutely love the coin, and it would be quite a hole in my collection that would need to be replaced.
Hey, how can I help you, man?
I'm here to sell this book.
Okay. The Art of Animation by Bob Thomas. That looks like Walt Disney's signature there.
It is.
That's pretty amazing.
Well,
$20, no problem.
the thing that makes my book special is that I've never seen a Walt Disney signature like that. It's huge. I'm asking $16,000 for the book based off of the signatures I have and the condition. I think it's in good condition. It's a rare book, and I think it's a great piece.
A lot of people just don't realize the genius of Walt Disney. He did so many neat things with animation. He designed the multi-plane camera, which is one of the problems with cartoons. You have your character right here, and you have the background. So the background's got to move a little bit, but not as much as the other one. So he created a camera where there's all these different planes in it, where everything moved right. It was a really arduous process.
It's also signed by other animators, too.
Do you know all the pages where all the autographs are at?
Let me go ahead and find them for you real quick. There it is.
Okay.
Check that out.
And these are all animators.
Correct.
And we got the 9 old men. There's 9 old guys that were like animators from like the beginning that worked on the shorts for the movies and eventually like Snow White. They became the best of the best in Hollywood. Looks like we have all their autographs here. That makes it really cool. How much money do you want?
I'm asking for $16,000.
Okay. First off, it's not that I don't trust you, it's just that I don't trust you because I don't trust anybody. If I did, I'd be out of business.
Sure.
Let me have someone check out the autographs, make sure all legit, and well, let's start there. Okay, let's just find out if everything's real.
Okay.
All right, let me give someone a call.
Okay.
All right. Best Disney movie ever? Jungle Book. The old one.
I mean, Rick really seems interested in the book. I mean, I know he is like a Disney fanatic as well, and I know that Walt Disney did sign this book.
Okay, I know your whole life you've been told that size doesn't matter. But I think it does matter this time.
Wow, okay.
The 9 old men back in the 50s, I don't think anyone would fake them.
Right.
This right here is a completely different situation.
Yeah, this is a guy that's heavily forged, so you have to be really careful. The first thing I do want to look at is the ink.
I mean, looks like a modern marker almost.
Well, okay, it's possible. This book is what, late 50s?
Yeah.
Okay, so fiber tip marker, it's possible in that range. So let's take a look at it and kind of get into this ink and see what we're actually dealing with here. You know, I don't think it's fiber tip marker. It's almost like a paint on here. It's really difficult to say, though. This one I'm a little stumped on. I know the ink's live, though. There's no question about it.
Live ink, so it was signed, it's signed, but was it signed by him?
Absolutely. Well, that's what I'll get to next. And a great thing about Disney, taking a look at his signature, typically gorgeous autograph. He enjoyed doing it. One thing I always look at first here is the W. When he starts off his W's, you see him on kind of a different plane here. If you take a look here, we take a look here, and then the last name. I love how he does this last name here, and this always kind of just reminds me of, you know, Mickey Mouse a little bit. And this is the great part of his signature. He always included kind of a paraph at the end, and we see it right here again. This example perfectly illustrates it.
Okay, so it's real.
Absolutely no doubt about it. Live ink, beautiful signature. It's actually one of the nicer Disney autographs I've ever seen before.
So what do you think it's worth?
His autograph's not rare, okay, because he did sign a lot of things throughout his life. These guys together are pretty neat. I'll tell you that much. Is everybody going to know who these guys are?
Probably not.
Yeah, you have to find a niche collector for that. You're looking at something in the $6,000 range.
Okay.
Cool
Thanks,
piece.
man.
Yeah, thanks for calling me down.
Appreciate it.
The great thing about Walt Disney is he remains iconic to this day, and his signature remains wildly popular. There's a lot of his signature out there, but it still carries pretty good value in the marketplace.
It's a really cool book. The problem is you got a lot of different things going on here. Let me just call my book person. You sort of got to put it all in a blender and come up with a price, and it's not easy sometimes.
Okay. Rick's calling his book expert. I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical about what she's going to say. because of Steve's evaluation of it. Yeah, I think it's worth a ton more. So that's kind of worrisome for me.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. How are you?
Good. I just sent you pictures of a book, and I know you never do this over the phone, but you're like on the other side of the planet.
Right, exactly. I'm not taking responsibility.
So what do you think of the book?
Did you have Steve look at the signatures?
He says all the signatures are legit.
Okay. This is a book that on its own isn't really that valuable or desirable, but this is something where I would say it's more than the sum of its parts. And people are going to be interested in this because they like the idea of the context. This is everyone together sort of evoking a particular era. Okay, so listen, the condition here is not great. The dust jacket condition, ugh. The word that came to mind for me is beastly. But again, this is really more about the signatures and the fact that they're all in context here together. So if I were running into this at a dealer's shop, I would expect to see it from anywhere from $6,000 to $7,500.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, happy to help.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
I'd give you $4,500 for it. You know, it's just I have to resell this. It's not an easy sell. Books do not go in the showcase and sell the next day.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, but, you know, Walt Disney, though, I mean, you're not going to see too many of these come in your shop.
Okay, it's very interesting, very cool, but I have to retail it.
I just feel like I could get more. You know, I appreciate your offer. I just, you know, I think the lowest I'd probably be willing to go on this, Rick, honestly, is about probably like $7,500, like Rebecca said.
I mean, I'll go like 47.
No, I mean, it's just been in the family for so long. I mean, I'd feel bad if I sold it for that low. I mean,
if you change your mind, come back and see me, okay? All right, or shop it around.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, cool. Thanks, man.
All right, $4,700 was Rick's offer. I just thought it was too low. I'd just rather take the book home and see it go up in value and maybe bring it back one day.
Hi.
Hey, how can I help you?
Have something you may be interested in.
This is the day of the music day.
Buddy Holly's last show.
I know this is the rarest concert poster there is.
Yeah.
A winter dance party, Buddy Holly and the Crickets, The Big Bopper, Richie Valens. Hey, I'm sort of like blown away, dude. I mean, because this is the Holy Grail.
Right. I have a music poster from the night that Buddy Holly died. Considering its age, it's in very good condition. I'm hoping to get 30,000. I'm willing to go down to probably about 15.
I love how, you know, right here they got the name of their big hits at the time. You know, Chantilly Lace. What happened was that this night they did the show, and this was like the worst winter in like decades. I mean, they had been having a miserable, miserable time. Buddy Holly's drummer had to quit the tour because he got frostbite on his feet.
Oh, yeah.
This terrible, drafty bus that the heat barely worked in. So Buddy Holly went to charter a small plane to fly to the next city. I mean, literally just a minute or two after takeoff, the plane crashed, and unfortunately, no one survived. This all happened because of an unfortunate, tragic chain of events. The Surf Ballroom was not even on the original tour. It was later added by the tour company. And that little change affected rock and roll forever. This was put on at the last minute.
Yep.
I think the high school made the posters for him, maybe, or something like that.
From what I understand, the high school put the show together, and one of the kids' uncles owned a printing shop, and they had days to whip the posters together, so they made, from what I've heard, about 150 of them.
You know, I'm absolutely amazed. This would be like one of the coolest rock and roll things ever come to my store.
Okay.
But then that's the part that really bothers me. Is this thing real? When it comes to this thing, I mean, there's so many fakes and things like that. I mean, where did you get it?
My family owns an auction house. A gentleman brought it to us that he had bought it from the lady that was at the show.
Okay.
Moved from Clear Lake up to Green Bay, and he got it from her, brought it to us. We bought it. Now I'm here.
So did you have it checked out by anybody, or?
Yeah, we sent it down to a major auction house, way bigger than us, and they authenticated it. actually put it on the front cover of their catalog. As far as we know, there's only one of these.
If this is the only version of this poster, it makes it so much more valuable. And then again, it's going to make it so much harder to prove that it's real. So I'm assuming you want to sell it?
Yes, I do.
And how much do you want?
$30,000.
$30,000.
Yep.
That's a lot of money. So let me have a friend come down.
All right.
This guy knows more about rock and roll memorabilia than anybody. He's the curator for the Hard Rock Cafe and the Hard Rock Hotels.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, I mean, so there's basically no one who deals with more rock and roll stuff than this guy. Let me get him down here, have him look at this thing, and if it's the real deal, we'll talk money.
Sounds good.
Okay, but that's, I just have to find out. I mean, it's not that I don't trust you, it's just I don't trust anybody.
Right.
Okay, so hang out. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Sounds good.
When it comes to anything this rare, I have to double and triple check to make sure it's real. And I really hope it is. This is it.
This is it?
Oh.
We know what this poster's about.
Yeah, this is the day the music died.
Buddy Holly and the Crickets was a huge part of the first generation of rock. When I first got into rock collecting in the 80s, first thing we did was look for Buddy Holly memorabilia, and we found it. It was still in his parents' house. All his guitars, all his clothes. It was agreed that they'd lend a lot of it to the Hard Rock. Okay. So I've seen it, I've held it. Buddy's acoustic guitar sold in 1990 for $240,000.
That's amazing.
So you're talking, there's some people out there that definitely would like to have authentic rock and roll memorabilia from some of these 50s stars. How the posters look in those days, they were all printed by one poster company and then overprinted for all the stops. There would be a blank at the top, and that would overprint with the name of the ballroom that there was and the date that they were playing. The Buddy Holly tour had such a poster. Those posters are highly sought after.
So is this a legitimate poster for the Surf Ballroom for February 2nd, 1959 for Buddy Holly?
This was never a poster. It's definitive that there never was any poster made for that date because it's a quickie. It was added on the ballroom. They've never seen one. They've seen these, which I believe are blow-ups from handbills.
So if this isn't real from that night but was produced in the 60s, is it worth anything?
Trouble is, there's too many poster companies have this exact image, and they're spitting them out for $14.
Right.
If it's not from that night, there's no money here.
Okay.
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming in.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
That's all right, thank you.
He's been buying and selling this stuff for over 30 years. To me, I just have to take his opinion. Good luck to you on your quest, man.
I'll keep digging.
Safe travels, man.
Thanks. I was a little disappointed. I'm not going to give up at all. I'm going to keep going with it, and hopefully, when I can definitively prove that it's real, I'll be back here.
What can I help you with?
Got a Lincoln campaign ribbon from 1860. It's made of silk. It's in very good condition. It's got Abraham Lincoln's bust picture on it. Also has for Vice President Hannibal Hamlin.
Is that like a Lincoln log?
No, it's a ribbon you would like wear on your clothes.
Oh.
You like to have campaign buttons nowadays?
Yeah.
Sort of what they had back then.
I need to bust out the new button. Chumlee for President 2012.
I decided to come to the pawn shop today. I have an Abraham Lincoln campaign ribbon. It's a very rare piece of history. Decided to bring it and see what it was worth. Everything has a number on it, but I'm not going to give it away.
This is pretty amazing. So where in the world did you get this?
Well, it's been in my family 150 years. I have a little document here. It was originally in when I found it in my mom's cedar chest. Tell a little story about it there.
Okay. Worn by my grandfather, John Hall, campaign of 1860. I'm definitely interested in it because, quite frankly, it's pretty cool. Abraham Lincoln is considered one of the greatest leaders this country has ever had. So whenever I run across items from his presidency, you bet I'm interested.
How come Lincoln doesn't have a beard?
The story goes is a little girl wrote him a letter saying he would look much more distinctive if he grew a beard. And that's why he grew it. I don't know if it's true or not. Beard or no beard, you don't get a much bigger American icon than Lincoln. So what were you looking to do with it?
I'll sell it if the price is right.
Okay, the great thing is it's in beautiful shape. And I can definitely tell it's real from how old it is. But the problem I have here is I don't even know what this thing is worth.
Well, I do.
Okay, and what is that?
I had it appraised 7, 8 years ago for $25,000.
Okay. Sounds a little high to me. You mind if I have someone come down here, take a look at it? Maybe we can figure something out?
No problem.
Not that I don't believe you, it's just I don't believe anybody.
Fair enough.
All right, so let me get someone down here and check it out.
Thank you.
This ribbon is awesome, but I have no idea how rare it is or what it's worth. It could be 25 grand like the guy says, but I'm not taking his word for it. Well, this is what I called you about.
This is a campaign ribbon from obviously 1860 where it says that. This election was really one of the most important in American history because, of course, Abraham Lincoln's election led to the Civil War, and his views on slavery caused the South to secede. And another really interesting fact about this campaign was over 81% of the population actually voted in this election. So this is a really historic, wonderful ribbon.
An 81% turnout is insane, and it was much harder to get to a place to vote back then. So is it real?
It's actually in very, very nice shape because it's very easy to read, and you could even see that there's a sculptor's name down here, Childs. It's full and complete other than the tear at the top. It is one of the nicer examples that I've seen. In my opinion, this is the real deal.
So what do you think it's worth?
Well, what do you think it's worth?
I'm thinking it's worth 20,000 plus.
I don't know about that. At the peak of the market, this ribbon would have sold for maybe $4,000. These days at auction, it would bring somewhere in the vicinity of about $3,000. It's a great ribbon, but it's simply not worth that kind of money.
I understand.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Dana. I appreciate it. So, apparently we were pretty far off on the price.
Way off.
I mean, I would give you like $2 grand for it.
$2 grand, does that have any extra zeros on it? And just
I'll throw a decimal in there for you.
Where are you going to put that at? The end?
Well, how low would you go?
5,000.
No, I mean, I'll go 2,500, but I'm not going to go a dime more than that.
No, I think I'll just leave it in the family. It's been there for 150 years. And
okay. Thanks for bringing it in, though. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I was disappointed with the experts' numbers. There's no way I'm going to get rid of it for that. I'm not going to just listen to one person. I was filling them out just like they were me.
Hey, guys. I got something here I think you might be interested in.
Okay.
They're fossils.
Do you know what a fossil is?
A watch?
I decided to come to the pawn shop today to try to sell some of my fossils. They're around 290 million years old, and I've got 5 plant fossils and 1 spider fossil. So I'm hoping to get around $1,200 for the pieces.
All right, so tell me everything about these things.
Well, they're around 290 million years old. They're from the Mason Creek deposit from Illinois. It's one of the most famous fossil deposits in the world.
What kind of plants are they?
These are all just ferns. This one's really cool, but actually mutated and split into 2 tips. I've never seen another one like it. This one here, it's a spider. It's one of the first insects that were ever around.
That's amazing.
Fossils are basically plants and animals that have been preserved in stone. They're an incredible record of ancient Earth. And the Mason Creek area is one of the best places on the Earth to find them. But these are the first ones I've ever had like this in my shop. Unless, of course, you count the old man. So, when you found these things, you had to split them open yourself?
Yeah, crack them open by hand.
How do you break these things in half?
With a hammer, just very carefully. You've got to tap around the edges.
You ever crack one open and it just fall into pieces?
Lots of times, yeah.
I think these fossils look awesome, but I have no way to authenticate if they came from Mason Creek or if they're even real. Because let's be honest, paleontology is a little bit out of my league. What did you want to do with these?
I'd like to sell them.
And how much did you want for them?
I'd like right around $1,200 for the entire collection.
Here's my concerns. I just don't know enough about these things. I mean, literally, I don't know if this is painted on there. It's not that I don't trust you, it's just that I don't trust anybody. Let me call someone, get him down here. We'll get everything figured out, okay?
No problem.
Okay.
No problem.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot. I'm looking forward to the expert coming in and giving some information about these fossils. I know they're worth money. I know they're rare. It's just nice to hear someone else say the same thing.
I'm Dr. Scott Foss. I'm the regional paleontologist for the Bureau of Land Management, and I study fossils. Whoa, what do you have here?
This is it. Apparently fossils. I just wanted to make sure they were all real.
What can you tell me about them? Where did you collect them?
From the Mason Creek Formation in Illinois.
Uh-huh. Did they all come from the same area, or are they from different areas?
Same area.
There's a few things here. This one appears to have broken and been repaired. Looking at them, these are some of the nicer ones that I've seen. They are absolutely real.
So an artist didn't paint these on?
No, these are absolutely real. They're carbon impressions of organisms that lived on planet Earth 300 million years ago.
I wonder what the Earth looked like 300 million years ago.
Well, 300 million years ago, this area of Illinois was this massive kind of coal swamp area. The central United States was further south, and Illinois was right near the equator. That was a tropical environment. It was like being in the Yucatan of Mexico, only that was central Illinois. This one is very interesting. It is a spider, a 300-million-year-old spider, has found its way to Las Vegas today. Just the cool factor of that alone. I mean, collectors all over the world love to find these.
Thanks, Scott. I really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely, Rick. It's my pleasure. Love to look at a fossil anytime we can.
Okay, thanks.
If it wasn't for the amateur community, we wouldn't have half of the neat fossils that we find today.
All right, so how much did you want for these things?
Well, I did want $1,200 for the quality, for the size.
There's a collector's market for this, but a lot of collectors just like to go get them themselves, like you.
All right.
It's a lot of work, but it's sort of like half the fun. I'll give you 800 bucks.
Just the spider fossil alone is probably worth at least $600, at least, just for that one.
Like I said, I have to resell them, okay? I'll go $1,000, I can't go no more. I mean, that's what I'll do.
I'm looking for just a little bit more than that. I mean, like I said, I wish I could make a deal with you, but I can't let them go for $1,000. I'm sorry.
I'll go 11.
Cash money?
Cash money, 1,100 bucks.
Sounds good. Deal. 1,100 is a fair offer. He'll make money, I'll make money. We're both happy. That's what matters.
Are those what I think they are?
They are. 2 original M.C. Escher lithographs.
That is deeply cool. I just love his stuff. I mean, he's the only one who's ever done art like this. I mean, he's just this really screwed up, bizarro perspective. This was a guy who was going to be an architect. Then he became an artist and sort of incorporated the two and made this madness.
Yeah. I got these lithographs from the family of Escher's last printer. He didn't print his own lithographs. He had someone else do it because the process is so tedious. I'm selling these Escher lithographs only because they're duplicates. If I make a deal today, I'll use the money to probably buy more Escher artwork in the future.
He has always been one of my favorite artists. Take artists throughout the centuries, there's maybe 25 of them where you can look at their work and say, that's him. You know, you got Van Gogh. You can look at a Van Gogh and say, that's Van Gogh. Escher is one of those people. You look at an Escher and you know it's an Escher. Do you know the names of these?
So yeah, this one's called Three Worlds because there's the world reflected in the water, so you see the trees. There's the world on the surface of the water, which are the leaves of the tree. And then the third world is the world underneath the water, which is the koi.
That is really cool.
This one's called Belvedere. It's an impossible building, and a number of Escher's impossible buildings are actually halfway possible, meaning if you look at just the bottom half of the print, it's perfectly logical, or the top half of the print, but it's the combination of the two that create the illusion.
Yeah, he makes this three-dimensional thing exist in 2 dimensions that could never exist in 3 dimensions. You know, I just love everything about the way he did this stuff. I have never actually had a legitimate Escher lithograph come in my shop, and they are in incredible shape, which really scares me, because if there's one thing I've learned in this business, if it's too good to be true, it usually is. So the big question is, how much you want for them?
So for the Three Worlds, I'm asking $17,500, and for the Belvedere, $18,000.
All right. So I guess you know a lot about these things, and the more expensive something becomes, the more often it's faked. Let me have a friend come down and take a look at them. There's some questions I have. It's not that I don't trust you, it's just that I don't trust you.
Right.
I'm a little bit excited about this, so hold on.
All right. I think it's reasonable to call in an expert because for a transaction with this much money, you want to know that it's real. If he agrees with my price range, then that makes my deal all that easier.
Escher, all right.
Prepare to bend your mind.
You know, he's the first artist that I just was obsessed with because he took concepts I was learning in school, you know, physics, science, gravity, and he took those laws and he broke them. M.C. Escher's impossible constructions are just that. They're impossible to recreate in 3 dimensions, but he was able to do it in 2 dimensions through tricks and perspective that just were mind-bending. These are great. Now, what I'd like to do is take a closer look. So what I'm looking for here is that dot matrix pattern you'll find on offset lithography. I see a lot of the stippling that would have been used, but I don't see any sort of a dot matrix or rosette pattern that you typically see on a 4-color or offset lithograph. Now this one, I'm a little familiar with this one. Again, I'm seeing the stippling, I'm seeing the type of patterns you would see in a stone lithograph.
Okay. So, are they real?
It's real.
Okay. So they weren't printed yesterday?
They weren't printed yesterday. They just look like it. I mean, I've never seen prints of this vintage in quite such good condition. They're exceptional.
Okay, so what do you think these are worth?
This one, Belvedere, I love the image, and it could be argued that this one might even be a more marketable image. The one thing that I think really will detract from the value is the lack of a signature. I'd probably put a value on this one in maybe the $5,000 to $8,000 range, whereas this one I'd probably put in that 15 to 20 range.
Okay.
Well, I beg to differ because this is a print that another one from this same family went to auction for 5 figures.
Again, the concerns I have, we don't really have any proof.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Rick, hey, as always, it was great. It was great meeting you. You've got some exceptional works here.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. M.C. Escher's work just continues to resonate, and I think every generation kind of picks up on it and its genius. I think it's timeless.
So, sounding like this one's sort of like out of the question.
Yeah, there's no, I mean,
okay.
You can buy the top half of it for, you know, £5.
Okay, so Belvedere's out of the question. And the Three Worlds, what's your best price?
I think 17.5 is a fair price for the Three Worlds. It's right in the middle of Brett's assessment.
You just have to look at my situation. I have to resell it. This is a business where I gotta make money. I would go 12 grand on the Three Worlds.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't.
I mean, it's an incredible print. I think it will sell for right around 16, 17,000. But I'm not in the business of breaking even. Or I'll go 13. That's all I'm gonna go.
If it had flaws, I would agree with you, but I can't go that low for something in this condition.
I really love them, but business is business. If you change your mind, come back and see me, man.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, man.
It would have been great to make a deal today, but at the same time, Escher is super famous. There's someone out there who are not gonna buy it to try to sell it. They're gonna buy it because they love it and keep it for themselves, and that extra few $1,000s won't make a difference.